Thank you everybody for joining this 100-year anniversary of the Canadian Division. My name is Wisdom Mube. I'm the president of the Canadian Division of the Chartered Governance Institute. I wanted to take this opportunity to make a few remarks before handing things back over to Harley to continue with the day's event. At the 2019 AGM in Vancouver, I shared a presentation with our members informing them that the Canadian Division had developed a growth and sustainability plan covering 2019 to 2021. On this occasion of the 100th year anniversary of the Canadian Division's existence, I would like to report that the implementation of the growth and sustainability plan is well underway. The Committee for Canada and the Board of Directors of the Division have been hard at work to ensure the successful implementation of the plan. The implementation of the Growth and Sustainability Plan has seen the Canadian Division taking its initial steps towards its next 100-year journey with the relaunch of the Canadian Division to match the Institute's new branding, and that implementation relaunch is underway. The Committee for Canada and the Board of Directors will continue to build onto the Growth and Sustainability Plan into the future. As members of the Canadian Division, you will see more engagement from National Office. I encourage everybody to please engage with the division and lend your support as we move the division forward. I would like to thank Jeannot, the Vice President of the Canadian Division, for leading the team that planned this 100th year anniversary event. Thank you, Jean. Now over to you, Holly, to continue with the day's events.
Thank you, Wisdom, for those heartfelt words. And now may I say, let the celebration begin. Again, welcome everyone. I am so excited to be here today to celebrate and honor 100 years of the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada. My name is Holly Schramm, and I am joining you from Calgary, Alberta. I have been an active member with CGIC since 2016, when I became an accredited director through the DEEP program. Since then, I've had the joy of getting to know the members of the Alberta branch at our annual general meetings and holiday celebrations. We always have so much fun together, and that's one of the reasons why I was so eager to participate in this celebration, to meet members from Canada, Bermuda, all over the world, to enhance the unity of our organization. First of all, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making the time to be here today. This event has taken on a slightly different form due to the global pandemic, but as governance professionals, I know that we are all well versed in adaptation. In a year that has had so many trials and tribulations, it's also important to recognize the many good things that are happening. 2020 has been a very eventful year for CGIC. Not only are we celebrating our centenary, but we are pleased to share with the world our new relaunched website. With over 900 members strong, we know the value that CGIC offers. And now we have a brand new platform to share that. So thank you and congratulations to all who made that happen. I really love to read, and one of my favorite authors is Maya Angelou. She once wrote, "If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going." If we think back in our minds over 100 years ago and try to imagine what our founders would have envisioned for CGIC today, what pictures would we create? What a good looking bunch of individuals. I think our founders would be very pleased, but in all sincerity, the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada has grown from a small group of well-educated Brits to an organization that meets the needs of aspiring governance professionals. Not only do we offer 2 world-renowned education programs, but we deliver webinars and workshops. But most importantly, we have a community where like-minded individuals can come together, share information, ask questions, and continue on their journey of lifelong learning. Today, we have members from all 5 branches here, and each branch has its own unique charms. We will be hearing from a representative of each branch as they make a toast to CGIC. But before we do that, I have a special surprise for you, a video from our international branch.
Hello everyone, I'm Peter Turnbull, the President of the Chartered Governance Institute. To achieve 100 years of service to members, students and stakeholders is a really significant achievement, and certainly in my view, one you should be justifiably proud of. It's also one in today's world that's becoming increasingly rare, as you would all know. The Chartered Governance Institute itself started what is now 129 years ago. It started as something quite small, as these organisations do. It started as just an informal group of people sitting down to discuss the issues of the day in our field. And from that humble beginning, the organisation has endured, quite obviously, for 129 years. It's prospered and it's met every challenge along the way to become the powerful global organisation it is today. I've had a bit of a look at the history of the Canadian division, and I think one of the successes of the division has been to have a Canadianised qualifying program, which I think has been really important. A Canadianised program that is managed in Canada for Canadians. I think looking from afar, that seems to be one of the keys to your success within the Canadian division. I also know that up until the 1960s, your examinations came directly from London, but subsequently there was an opportunity to translate, if I can call it that, those exams for particular Canadian circumstances. I also think that's enabled the Canadian division to develop very meaningfully and to prosper over the years since that happened. Some other things that strike me about the Canadian division: Canada is close to Australia, where I live, but they're similar countries with great geographic distances, matched by a relatively small population base. And I think in Canada, like Australia, you've established a very, very important and focused and active branch network that stretches right across the country. And I think that's really served the organisation well, and has been another key to your ongoing success. And I'm sure that will be, the branch network will be a feature in the future, which will continue to serve you well. Again, a very similar situation in Australia, and it provides great value to us here too. The International Council actually was in Toronto in September 2018, and can I just say we very much enjoyed the opportunity to meet the members and the Committee for Canada at that stage, and to see what was going on within the Canadian division at that time, to plan for the future and to grow the membership going forward. I'd also just like to remark that, as many of you would know, we've been through a major brand image update in recent times, and I'm just very pleased to acknowledge that the Canadian division was the first in our global network to adopt the Institute's new name and brand in its totality. We think this is a great step forward for yourselves and for the International Institute as a whole. And we believe others have followed since, and we believe further divisions will do so in the next couple of years. If I can just also say your continued partnership with the UK to deliver the qualifying program, your decision to appoint new and energetic association, a new and energetic association management company, as well as the commitment from members for the Committee for Canada, is really impressive and all to be applauded. And I think these things really set the division up for the future. For all of us, there are many challenges ahead, both internal and external, but I always try and just remind myself there's always opportunities, even in difficult times like this. So within the Canadian division, I can see that focus and momentum growing, the passion to serve members, students, and your wider group of stakeholders, and a genuine willingness to make the most of the opportunities that present themselves and which you've identified. So can I offer you sincere congratulations on this, your 100th anniversary, and I wish you all the very best of good fortune for your second century ahead. Now, Tim Sheehy, I'll hand over to Tim Sheehy, who I would just ask to make some further comments, if I may.
Thank you, Peter. And I too would like to congratulate the Canadian division on a 100-year anniversary. Not many organizations survive 100 years, and I've always had the attitude that no organization has a right to exist. So if you can stay there for 100 years, you're obviously meeting what it is your members want. I've had the pleasure of working with the various association management companies, education staff, and international representatives of the Canadian division for over 20 years in my capacity now and in my capacity as the Chief Executive of Governance Institute of Australia. What has always impressed me is the passion that the division and the staff and the members have for their division and for a pride in their independence. Peter mentioned the division taking over the qualifying program some years ago. And I do remember the challenge maybe a decade ago where the right for the division to conduct its own exams was taken away from it. But the division said, no, that's not what we want in the longer term. And I know that many people in your division worked very hard to get to the point where the qualifying program could come back to Canada, being run by Canada. And in all the time I've been with the Institute, I've not seen any division lose the right and then get it back again. And that to me is an example of the pride you have in your division. The decision to open up the Director Education Accreditation Program was an excellent move. It's something that broadened your market and allowed you to introduce yourself to a wider audience, whilst at the same time enabling the division to earn some revenue which can support its other functions. So when any division takes it upon itself to open up new lines of business, to look at its own sustainability, that also points to me to a pride in the division. I was very pleased to see that the Canada division is working very closely with the United Kingdom in delivering the qualifying program now. It doesn't mean there's any independence which is lost, but it means that the Canadian division can get the best of both in getting a great deal of work undertaken by the United Kingdom, but Canadianizing it to suit their own circumstances. I'd like to finish with a comment that Peter made about the Canada division taking on the brand of the International Institute. It was the first. It will be the first of many. It is an absolutely fantastic example when you see it in the flesh, so to speak. When you go into the website, you see a new vibrancy, a youthfulness. You see a desire to be part of a global organization. And I personally am thrilled, but professionally, I congratulate you for being bold enough to do that. And it would be nice to see the other divisions in their own time follow suit. So I want to finish again by saying congratulations on 100 years. It's no mean feat, and it only comes from your own hard work and dedication. And I'll turn it back to Peter.
Thank you very much, Tim. Well said. Again, from both of us, sincere congratulations on your 100th anniversary. Thanks very much for the opportunity to talk to you, albeit virtually, which is all we can do at the minute, but very best wishes for the next second century of the division ahead. All the best.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Tim and Peter. We appreciate the support and enjoyed hearing from our international affiliates. Now, as promised, on to a few words from our first branch, Quebec, delivered by Mr. Fred Enns.
Good evening, everyone. So just to give you a little bit of background from Montreal, ICSA, as it was then known, was founded in Montreal 100 years ago by a handful of ex-Brits who had received their designations from England. They started a small group in Montreal to share the camaraderie, given they were so far away from the ICSA headquarters. And ICSA Canada sprang from there. Up until and during the 70s and 80s, ICSA in Montreal was a buoyant chapter, given that many important corporate headquarters in Canada were based here. Montreal hosted an international conference in the 1980s, which was very well attended. And for many years, ICSA had its monthly luncheon meetings at the prestigious private club known as the Mount Stephen Club, which added a particular cachet to the Institute. Then in the 90s, things proved to be more difficult for the Quebec chapter, with a much greater emphasis on the use of the French language in all business contexts in this province, and the limitation that we had, which was that our educational programs were in English only. Our key resources in Quebec during this time came from a very long-standing members and newly appointed fellows who entered through the mature entry process. Such committed members as Andrew Molson, who was a member of the National Board for 2 years, and Ingrid Stefanczyk as president of the Quebec Council, and Kim Lachapelle, amongst many others, helped us raise the profile of the organization locally and introduced it to a larger Francophone population. The Quebec branch was also instrumental in creating the Director Education and Accreditation Program, particularly through the leadership of Janice Ribbon. And by focusing on these governance training activities and being very active in providing member services and events in the form of seminars and more recently webinars, we've been able to keep a vibrant presence in the local governance community and to reach out nationally. The Quebec branch of the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada is determined to grow its membership and is looking to the future with great enthusiasm. Cheers, CGI, on turning 100.
Yay, cheers. Thank you, Fred. As Fred mentioned, Montreal, Quebec was the first branch in Canada in 1920. And now I would like to invite Mr. Andrew Todd from the Ontario branch to say a few words.
So the Institute's Ontario branch was established and organized by way of letters patent under the Corporations Act in March 1958 to provide a variety of membership services such as professional development, social activities, and some new initiatives for its members in Ontario for long-term success. The Ontario branch council members have been an integral component and participating in national initiatives with their time and efforts. We wish to pay tribute to those members, including long-standing DEAP instructors and all the past OBC presidents and council members since 1958. OBC has held a number of professional development programs since 2013 on risk management, compliance, governance, and insurance, amongst others. In terms of 2020, it has been involved in streamlining the organizational structure with the CGI National Board and the new management firm Treeline, participating on the National Board committees, professional development in investment management, securities law, and compliance, with future events being planned for online broadcast, publishing articles in the magazine, and now posting articles online. A century of membership services is a significant achievement in the governance sector for CGI Canada, and this milestone could not be achieved without the active and thoughtful participation of its volunteers and membership support. Thank you and congratulations to all our members, and cheers to the next 100 years.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
It's really interesting to know how each branch began. Each year, the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada acknowledges long-standing members. In 2020, we recognized 10 members who have been with the Institute for 25 years and 6 members who have been with the Institute for 50 years. We thank you and appreciate your support over the years. Ontario was pleased to recognize 7 members. Ms. Joyce Yip is a passionate governance advisor from the BC branch. Her desire to make the world a better place fuels her cells. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Joyce Yip. Yes, yeah.
Perfect. So my name is Joyce Yip. I'm the president of the Chartered Governance Institute of British Columbia, a BC branch of the Chartered Governance Institutes of Canada. I'm honored to represent CGIC to have a toast to the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada on its 100th anniversary celebration. I want to say congratulations to CGIC and its member for the attainment of 100 years of existence in Canada. Celebrating 100 years of professional governance, excellence, and ethics, we should be honoring the past and looking to the future. The Chartered Governance Institute of British Columbia has played an integral role in furthering the public awareness of CGIC, membership growth, and engagement. Today is my privilege to serve as the president of CGIC during CGIC's centennial year. I'm very thankful that many of our long-standing BC branch members support. Big thank you to our long-standing BC branch board member for many years of dedication in serving our branch. This year is an opportunity to look forward to the future of the Chartered Governance Institute of British Columbia. What can we do to shape a better future for all of our members? How can we help Canadians associate corporate governance to CGIC? Be a sponsor for good governance, equity, diversity, and inclusion. A diverse and inclusive workplace that includes people with a wide range of backgrounds, skills, experience, spur creativities, and result in a better outcome and a stronger organization. Encourage the next generation of young women and men to consider career in corporate governance. Investing in our future is the key to ensuring the sustainability of our profession. The National Office received a letter from a long-standing BC branch member, Mr. Adrian Elliott. I'm honored to read his letter on his behalf. Dear committee chair and members, I thank you for honoring my 50+ year affiliation with the Institute of Charter Secretary and Administrator, as I have known it most of my life, and under its current iteration, the Chartered Governance Institutes of Canada. My involvement with the Institute began when I was 15 and given special age dispensation to write the examination through the recommendation of the Bermuda Technical College, where I was a full-time student in what is now Zimbabwe. At that time, the governing body for me was the South African Institute. I gained associate status with that body and the UK one in April 1970. And then in 1972 became a member of the Rodan Institute. Upon my immigration to Canada in 1983, I was welcomed into the Canadian Institute. If nothing else, my affiliation with the Institute has been portable. It has been wonderful to see corporate governance become so important in our modern world. Having watched the evolution of the Institute over these many years, I hope its continuous success. Sincerely, Adrian Elliott. His letter clearly demonstrates the value of the CGIC destination. Being a member of Chartered Governance Institute is truly part of a global network. Finally, our centennial year offers a fantastic opportunity to engage with the public and communicate how corporate governance shapes Canadian organization and our community. We look forward to the time when we can meet in person again. We will continue to provide our members with opportunity to discuss relevant and trending governance topics. If you have any suggestion on how best to accomplish virtual networking, we would love to hear from you. If you're interested in joining the BC branch board, please feel free to contact us. In order to support our BC branch member at the COVID challenging time, the CGIBC board has decided to implement a branch fee relief for all our members starting in 2021. All CGIBC members will only need to pay the CGIC membership due. The BC branch fee is waived. We thank each of you for your continuing support for CGIC. We look forward to seeing you all at virtual events in the future. Please stay safe and healthy. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's have a toast. Happy 100th birthday, CGIC. Let's celebrate.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you, Joyce. That was really lovely. And thank you for also sharing the letter from as well. 4 members of the BC branch received milestone achievements this year. All right, so on behalf of Mr. John Davies, the Alberta branch was founded in the 1960s and in 1981 became a registered legal entity under the Alberta Societies Act. Edmonton is 300 kilometers north of Calgary. The members in that city enjoy the status of being a chapter within the branch. The membership is largely drawn from Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer, and Lethbridge. There have been a few from Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and 2 in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. Many members have held high-profile positions like Executive Director of the Workers' Compensation Board, Chairman of the Alberta Energy Conservation Board, Chairman of the Canadian Automobile Association, Dean at the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, and the University of Calgary, to name a few. The branch has always placed emphasis on CPD, with members meeting seminars and conferences. Concerning the latter, John Davies was the chairman for a national conference in Banff and then an international conference in Calgary. Some of our speakers have been in high-profile positions like the present and former mayors of Calgary, Ralph Klein, former Premier of Alberta, Preston Manning, when he was the leader of the official federal opposition in Ottawa, and Professor Spencer Thompson from Queensland University in Australia. Some events have been held jointly with other professional bodies. On a topical note, the present board of directors and individuals who have held office in recent years has had a good example of multi-racial relations, namely from Northern and South Africa, Sri Lanka, Caribbean, Hong Kong, to name a few. Over the years, membership numbers had varied from a low of 70 to a high of 160. Presently, we have about 80 members. The branch has been awarded the President's Trophy 4 times. 3 members have given the Distinguished Service Award, namely Patty Griffin, John Davies, and Judy Parker. 3 have held office at National President, namely Patty Griffin, John Davies, and Michelle Demers. I am pleased to report that the present board of directors is showing enthusiasm for the future success of CGIC. I would like to give you an example of an embarrassing moment as a national board member. I had attended a national board meeting in Toronto on Friday and Saturday, returning to Calgary on Sunday. On Monday morning, upon entering the office, several staff members were discussing a matter seemingly of some consequence. Eventually, they sent a staff member to meet with me named Dorothy, who was a First Nations Canadian. Seemingly, a message had come in from Toronto saying that a pair of PJs were in the mail and they were found on a pillow. Dorothy said, "I have a question for you. The staff wants to know, whose teepee were you sleeping in last night?" I answered, "That would be telling." So a toast to CGIC on behalf of John Davies. The Alberta branch was pleased to recognize one long-standing member award this year. Last but not least, and definitely the warmest branch of CGIC, please join me in welcoming Christina Swan from the Bermuda branch.
Well, hello everybody from Bermuda. It's actually not that warm here, but I'm not going to get any sympathy from Canada. I know that. I'd like to extend a warm welcome and congratulations to the 100-year anniversary of the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada and all of the accomplishments of the Canadian branches alike. The one thing I'd like to say is people always ask, why Bermuda? When did Bermuda, a 21 square mile island in the middle of the Atlantic, become part of Canada? And I have been asked that. Truth be told, Bermuda's always had a long and well-established history with Canada in the Institute. I thought we seemed much older than we were, but hearing from the other branches, we're quite young. In 1988, the International Council agreed to allow Bermuda members, or Bermuda, to choose between remaining in London registry and transferring that to the Canadian division. Many students at that time were already, apparently they were writing and studying courses from Canada. So it just stood reason that London and the Institute would allow Bermuda members at that time to move to Canada to seek membership in Canada. On June 1st, 1993, the Bermuda branch was born. The success of the Bermuda branch has come from a lot of work from many individuals. Some of you may know the names Bruce Murray, Michael Ashford, who were long-standing members of the Institute, and they not only promoted the success of the Bermuda branch, but they sat on the Canadian Council and they sat on the International Council as a whole. I was going to bring John Davies to speak if he was in attendance to say that he might have a bit more colored stories about his times working with the Bermuda branch. Apparently he visited Bermuda in 1996 to speak about the highlights about the Canadian Governance Committee. And that was when he himself was the president of the Canadian branch, or Canadian Institute. That dinner was hosted by Michael Ashford and Bruce Murray, and those who know both of those know they're very colorful individuals, very in with the Institute. So I would love to have been a fly on that wall. As some of you may know, Bermuda's known for its rum, and we enjoy it. As a Canadian myself, and now I'm proud to call Bermuda home, I am honored to be part of this esteemed institution that not only provides world-class education, but promotes the best corporate governance practices and global professional and networking opportunities. I would like to say cheers to the CGIC on its 100th anniversary with the Bermuda Dark and Stormy, our national drink.
Cheers. I think you have some really fantastic rum cake too in Bermuda.
We do.
Yeah. So thank you, Christina. You're an inspiration to so many of the students out here. Bermuda was pleased to recognize one long-standing member in 2020. Ms. Patricia Thacker is the Executive Director of CGIC. Please welcome Patricia to speak to her involvement with the Institute.
Thanks, Holly. It's been an honor to join you here today to celebrate as the Institute celebrates its 100th year of existence in Canada. My name is Patricia Thacker, and I was nominated or appointed to be Executive Director of the Chartered Governance Institute of Canada in February of this year. Many of the faces at the national office have changed this year, and I'd just like to take a moment to ask my colleagues to give a quick wave as I just do a quick introduction. First of all, we have Kathleen Bright, our membership coordinator. Many of you have likely spoken to Kathleen about your membership, and of course, she's been our gracious host here this evening. Mike Kierstead's vision and hard work on elevating the Institute is really apparent through our new revamped website, our new revamped newsletter, member communications, and our increased social media presence. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at all these new tools, please check them out. Laura LaBelle is our accounting assistant, and she keeps us all very honest in our spending. One face hasn't changed though, and that's David Miragway, continues to serve as your Director of Education. You know, I've never really met somebody with such a commitment to candidate success. Since the pandemic has started, David has worked tirelessly to move both our international qualifying program and our Director's Education and Accreditation program online. Working with students to adapt to this new online environment has been a lot of very hard work and done in a very short period of time. I'd like to personally thank each and every member of our staff for all the support that they've given to the division, the board, the committees, the members, the branches, the students, and to me personally throughout the last year. So just a call out to all the national office staff. This month, the Institute, 85 candidates within the Institute wrote 120 online exams, which has been our largest exam sitting to date. Students are the future of the Institute, and more than anything else, especially as they just finished up their exams just a couple of weeks ago, we'd like to congratulate them on all their hard work and their effort in preparing for the fall exam season. They, more than anyone else, deserve special recognition tonight. So to our students and to their success. I'm going to keep you drinking, Holly. CGIC is at the forefront of shaping change and defining the future of governance with a global perspective. All Canadians benefit from better governance, and amazing people like our members are a great source of trusted advice to boards. Without our members, our journey would never have been so epic. I have the pleasure of announcing tonight that CGIC has ordered special commemorative pins to celebrate our 100th anniversary. These pins will be mailed out to you in December once they arrive to the national office, so please be on the lookout for this special package. If it's anything like my front porch, it'll probably be hidden under a large Amazon box. We hope that when you receive your pin, you will wear it with pride and you will use it as a way to promote the Institute. Just a shout out to all of our members who are our source of inspiration daily. Cheers. Just before passing the stage back to Holly, I'd like to conclude by saying 2020 threw out some pretty hard punches. But not only has the division remained standing, we grow stronger each and every day. We remain committed to empowering, strengthening, and advancing your status as governance professionals as we transition into 2020 and beyond. If we at the national office can be of any help to you in your career, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or any of the staff members. To conclude, CGIC started with a few, but now we are many, not only in our numbers, but also in our talents and creativity. We are truly excited about what happens next. Happy anniversary, CGIC.
Yay. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much, Patricia. And now one of our final toasts from our president, Mr. Wisdom Ncube.
Thank you again, Holly. I appreciate the opportunity to give a toast to the Canadian Division on its 100th anniversary. Yes, it's true, the Canadian Division is part of a global institute. Take it from me, I have lived the experience. I started my journey with the Institute student of the Zimbabwean Division in 1991. I knew then that I was going to end up somewhere around the globe and needed a global qualification that I could carry with me in my back pocket. wherever I go, and the Institute's professional qualification was an obvious choice for me. After completing my studies and becoming a member of the Institute in Zimbabwe, I immigrated to North America. The Chartered Institute's qualification and membership in hand, and ended up in Canada in 2008. Once in Canada, I settled in British Columbia, transferred my membership of the Institute from Zimbabwe division to the Canadian division, and started volunteering on the BC branch board as a director, treasurer, vice president, and president of the BC branch. I also became the BC branch representative on the Committee for Canada and National Board. I am now the Canadian division president. I raise my glass and wish the Canadian division another 100 years of success. Back to you, Ali.
Cheers. Thank you, Wisdom.
Yeah.
And thanks for all the work that you do for us. At the beginning of the meeting, we asked if there were any members who would like to also make a toast. Kathleen, do we have any volunteers?
We do. We have Sylvia Grove. She'd like to make a toast. Sylvia,
Excellent.
go ahead. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
I think I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So first off, I would like to thank the organization for putting together this celebration. It's a year that has few and far between celebrations, and so it's really nice to be able to connect with some familiar faces. And although I haven't been with the organization as long as a lot of the members have, I was incredibly honored to become a fellow of the organization. I'm incredibly honored to do some teaching with the DEEP program, which, back to Patricia's comments, David Miragway is wonderful. He's got it so together, and he has helped me improve my web presence immensely in being able to do those programs. And the participants are always amazing. The conversations are great. So I think the Institute does a fantastic job of that. Kathleen helped me very kindly get my membership and everything all back into shape. So I know that the management of the organization is in really good hands right now, and I would like to toast the staff and the Institute on the current and the next 100 years. And I also really, really want Holly's pom-poms. So cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Sylvia. And actually, you were my governance teacher in the DEEP program, so thank you.
I don't know if in 2016 that might be the case.
So that's all that announced in the comment box, Holly. I don't know if you want to open it now to anybody else, but.
Sure, we'll just give it one last chance here. If there's any members that would like to make a toast, please start speaking fairly shortly.
Oh, so I have a chat through Lee Haldeman who wants to announce it through chat. So I'll read that for you.
Okay.
Good governance has always been important. With the continuing increases in complexity and risk, the importance continues to grow. CGIC has done a good job over the past 100 years, but is needed even more in the future. Congratulations and all the best. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you. Thanks, Lee.
And there is another person, Joseph. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yes, okay. I've been out for Canada for many, many years, like roughly 20 odd years. We're now living in Shanghai, so I've been with the membership for quite some times. But it's really a great event for us to learn the history of the Institute, but also that understand this is a very global institute, and that I think is important that we're connecting back to Canada. And yeah, congratulations for the 100 years. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers, Joseph. Thank you very much.
I'm using the tea because, you know, it's early in the morning here.
Oh, yeah. Still have a long day ahead of you. We're wrapping it up here.
Well, just wake up a little bit.
Well, thank you for making the effort to be here.
Thank you.
And going once, going twice.
Maybe I can just jump in. This is Paul Duval. I just want to say that great to be here today. And I originally qualified through the UK. And so one of the things that was mentioned was about David and the support that he's given to develop the program. And I just wanted to endorse that because since I came to Canada in 2008 and joined the Institute, David was instrumental in helping me to navigate my way from the UK to Canada membership, and allied to that, of course, then having some great opportunities. For example, being able to present on the DEEP course, and recently just doing a webinar on cybersecurity as well. And I've been traveling abroad as well, back and forth, but always, you know, in those 12 years kept links with the Institute. And I think this is an amazing body of people. I mean, we've got very, very talented members, and I think that the potential for us to thrive and flourish as an organization is huge. The potential is there. And so I'm very, very excited to be part of this Institute. And like I say, I hope that we, to Wisdom's point, let's continue and be successful for the next 100 years, even if we're not around to celebrate it. But, you know, all the best to the Institute, and congratulations on this auspicious occasion. Cheers.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Okay, so I think that might be all. I'll just give it 2 more seconds here. Right, if anybody is camera shy, and I totally get that, we encourage you to submit a written toast to the Institute that can be shared at a later date. There is so much history to CGIC, and it's so important to share those stories and continue the legacy. Our e-community governance forum can be such a valuable tool for us all. I hope you all register, and I look forward to connecting with you online. Now, finally, to close the celebration, I would like to introduce a gentleman that I've had the pleasure of getting to know. He is the VP of the Institute and the chairman of the 100th Anniversary Celebration Committee, Mr. John Wilfred Jeannot.
I said, thank you, Holly, and good evening, fellow members. My name is Jean Jeannot, and I come to you from Montreal, Quebec. I have to say that as a long-standing member of the Institute from the Quebec branch, it really warms my heart to see us in such great numbers. I think this may be the largest audience that we had for a Canadian Division event, certainly to my memory. Thank you, everybody, for having taken the time to join the celebration. They say that challenges go hand in hand with opportunities. 2020 was certainly a challenging year for everyone, including our Institute. Fortunately, those challenges forced us to think outside the box. And as a result, I think we're coming out of 2020 a stronger and certainly a more unified organization. You may have noticed a centralized and shared opportunities for us to participate in CPD events. As well, we now have many initiatives to encourage branch cooperation. This event is a perfect example. 2020 was also a year of accomplishment. As mentioned by Wisdom, Patricia, and Holly, we successfully relaunched CGIC, revamped our website, and we did so much more. We also have a better presence on social media. I encourage you to visit our Facebook and Twitter account, and if you see fit, giving us a few likes, which will surely help in continuing promoting our image. I want to take a moment to thank very special individuals who, without their selfless contribution, this evening could not have been possible. Can you put your virtual hands together for Rochelle Souza and Tiffany Lowry from our BC branch, and to our MC this evening, Holly Schramm from Alberta. Dear members of the 100th Anniversary Committee, words alone cannot express my gratitude. As well, I want to thank all of our branch councils, our international team, Peter Turnbull and Tim Sheehy, for their positive and encouraging words. Last but not least, I want to say thank you to the Tree Line for their invaluable expertise and contribution. Patricia, Mike, and Kathleen, job well done. I had the opportunity to be a member of the Institute in Quebec at the height of our presence in Canada. I remember being recruited to do registration for our monthly luncheon meetings, which took place in a very fancy place, very fancy private club, as Fred mentioned. My observation at the time that there were two types of attendees: those who were ICSA members, now CGIC, and those who dearly wanted to become members, the good old days. My preferred saying is that CGIC is a best kept secret. We have a lot to offer, and with continued effort, we'll get back some of our lost luster. Spoiler alert, 2021 will be a year of many development initiative. I now ask that if you're approached by your representative, by your respective branch, that you take the time to consider how you can do your part. An association is not only a collection of like-minded individuals, but also forms the base on which it is built and made to grow. With that thought, I can tell you that I'm very, very excited. On that note, I close saying, welcome 2021, for all this opportunity to propel us for another 100 years. Happy 100th CGIC. To one and all, be safe and be well. Back to you, Holly.
Cheers. Thank you so much,
Cheers.
Sean.
Cheers.
Well, everyone, that concludes our event for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.